Hi, this is Pete Williams from Unico. Today we're going to talk about supplying the supply duct system. We're going to have a series of short YouTube videos explaining how you work the supply system. Again, a couple of terminologies with Unico. We refer to this as plenum, not duct. We call it plenum. It's an extended plenum. It's either 7 or 9 or 10 inches inside diameter depending upon the size of the system. What we have here is 7-inch round pipe. Now this is very commonly available. Any place that sells metal will carry this. This is 7-inch. We have 26 gauge pipe here. This is what we recommend. Sometimes wholesalers carry this in 30 gauge pipe. That's a little bit too thin. So the first step of this we've already done is we've locked the seams together. Now again, one thing with Unico, we're under very high pressure. We're up to as high as 1.5 inches static pressure. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to tape the seam. What we have for that here, this is a UL 181A rated tape. This is not supplied by Unico, this is something locally supplied. But you have to tape the seam the full length of the pipe. So we're going to do that next. Okay, now we come to our next phase. We tape this down lengthwise. Tape it down lengthwise. Now this is another non-Unico supplied item. This is supplied by most of your tape manufacturers. This is what we use to make sure we have a nice solid fit with our system. Okay, so now we've taped the system together. The next step we're going to do is we're going to roll a roll of insulated ductwork over this. Okay, now we have our duct sleeved. Now in this case we have an R6 insulation. Again, in some communities, particularly the northern communities, they require R8. In some places, in fact in St. Louis here, a lot of our jobs are still R4. Now when we add our takeoff to this, it makes a difference. If we have R4, we have two methods that we can use. We can take our takeoff right here. We have a small gasket that will peel off in a moment that will fit to this, and we can put this flush with the insulation. Now anything above R4 is too big for us to do that. So what we have to do now, in this case, is take a utility knife, figure where we want to put the takeoff, and cut an X pattern into it. So that's what we're going to do next. We want to make this big enough so that we can peel back this insulation and put our ductwork on. And then we're going to put that back in once we're through. Now we've attached our takeoff gasket, the small gasket, to the takeoff fitting right here. This will fit on to the plenum itself and form a very tight seal. And we actually have two kinds of these metal takeoffs. We have this one, and then we have one called the flat takeoff, which is what we use for square or rectangular metal duct. So for this purpose, we have round pipe. We're going to use a takeoff like this, which is a saddle-shaped takeoff. Then our next step is to take some number 10, in this case we're using number 10 5/16 screws, and we're going to zip those in with a drill. So these are zip-in screws. These are self-tapping screws. That's a generic term for it. Okay, now we have all 4 screws that are screwed in. Now, it's very important for us to seal this up because this is where our duct leakage is going to be. So with each and every installation kit, you get this called a thermal overlay gasket. And it has 2 backs to it, 2 little rubber backings to it. We take the first one off here, and we use this to seal up what we just cut. And we'll take some more tape around this a little bit later. And then the next item that we have here This is a very important tool that you use. It's called a Taint Ring, and this fits on top, as you see right here. Now this is a black one for the 2-inch, the 2.5-inch use a blue one. But now we've made our connection at this end. Now the last thing that we do is we take a 1 3/4, or if you prefer 1 7/8 hole saw to core through the hole that we just cut right here.
Okay.
You notice I'm wearing safety glasses. Anytime you drill with metal, it's a good idea to wear safety glasses. So what we do is we take a 1, in this case we're using a 1 3/8 inch, or 1 3/4 inch hole saw, and we are going to core out the hole that we have here. Okay, now we're going to remove this. Now before we assemble this plenum, we are going to tap it to remove the coupons that we just created by drilling the holes here.